The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 923. Tuesdays, we can talk about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron in the social medias in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we have in studio, it's the guest we've been talking about all week long, highly anticipated, probably the biggest guest of the year, physically or otherwise. Bradley is here.
You're saying that just to make fun of me because I'm literally there's 4 people in this room and I am the shortest person in this room. I am 5'10" and I'm the shortest person in this entire room.
That's okay. You're big in spirit, and I see you jam to Bond Journey. But also with us, checks notes here is NWA Exodus Pro Midwest World Heavyweight Champion. Did I get all the words in there?
You definitely did.
PrettyBoy Smooth is with us.
Yo, I knew you were going to do that Bradley shit at the beginning. I saw it coming.
I woke up and came up with that bit. No, thank you so much, PrettyBoy Smooth, coming on down here from Erie. Thank you so much. You've been in the studio before. I don't think this is your first time, right?
No, it's not. It was a long time ago.
Yes.
Years ago.
Yeah, years. Pre-COVID, probably another lifetime away. And so much has changed. I think it was when you first had we'll talk about the scholarship and everything. Big show this weekend. NWA Exodus Pro is going to be Journey 2. I think it's their first year anniversary. It's going to be live on the NWA YouTube page. A lot of big stuff going on there, and thank you so much. We'll be talking a lot about that here in the show coming up. It's been a really interesting crew. I think we both had some very interesting experiences over this last year working with that crew up there in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's been a blessing for me. You know, I enjoy being over there. I enjoy learning from EC3 and Aaron Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that style of formatting of running shows and wrestling. Shout out to Noah. I call him the chef with all these video packages he's been cooking up lately.
This is where I got to dig into those recently. It's the first time I've really dug into them. I was like, okay, this is all right. We could do some fun stuff with this here. Anyways, I want to, but also if you hear any background noise, the Dutters is in the background as well, hanging out. So we have a studio audience of a sort. What's that? Taller than Bradley.
Damn
yes. Sorry, Bradley. Sorry. Anyways,
I am not Pocket Bradley.
This is crazy.
Welcome to the show. It's been a while. And we brought all the Mayhem vibes for you. But Ponder already says, "Damn, that's a massive and beautiful championship belt."
Oh, hell yeah. You know,
that looks good in the studio lights. I like that.
It definitely does, man.
That thing is heavy.
This is what a real
I've held that, and that is heavy.
This is what a real championship's supposed to look like. You know
there you go. I had not picked it up. We were during the championship, like we were doing like beauty shots of it for B-roll for later and social media and stuff. But like that's the first time I got to get my hands on that. That's awesome.
Big title for a big dude, man.
That's right. They're just like, who can carry this around? This one. Anyways, we'll talk about that. But first, let's get into some of the general stuff going on around the wrestling world. The biggest news that I've been hearing coming around, this is something, of course, WWE is not, well, I guess any company is going to tell you all the good stuff they got going on here. But I saw this one going around social media, and they even mentioned it on Raw last night. There was something called Fanatics Fest over the weekend, which seemed like just a big, like, lots of signings or something like that up at the Javits Center in New York City. And of course, Fanatics is, I guess they do like everything sports at this point, you know, like I think it's the reason why I know they took over WWE Shop a long time ago, and that's the reason why we have like college football championship belts now and NWA or NBA and like, you know, all of that. I mean, they used to be custom belts before, but now they just have them for all the teams except for the Jacksonville Jaguars for some reason. I understand. I don't know why. But anyways,
it's $300 for free advertising.
I know, right? So, but anyways, the biggest line coming from social media over the weekend was that the Fanatics Fest, they had like all kinds of sports stars from all over, and they had like a whole list. I mean, they've been telling this for like a month and a half on WWE television. And according to this, that the only stars and athletes, this is according to, I think this is actually Fox News for this one, the only stars and athletes that sold out their autograph and photo ops at the Fanatics events were the WWE stars.
I actually did read that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, wrestling's booming right now.
I love
People
that.
starting to give us the respect we deserve. I love it.
It has been interesting, and this is everybody across the board, not just WWE, but you do see that, like, I think internationally, and like you see more like WWE wrestlers, TNA or not TNA, AEW. Everybody is the NWA guys, popping up on new shows. And everything like that. Like wrestling is, I always, when I see that, think about like how like WrestleMania was, like all the stars and Muhammad Ali and everything was there. And like that mainstream thing that Vince always kind of was pushing for was as part of it. And it's like, yeah, it really, like, wrestlers become like bigger than the sports stars at this point. Like the traditional sports stars, let's say, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at WWE, a lot of people in the front row, you see some athletes, whether it's LeBron James or even a rapper like West Side Gun, like a lot of people still are fans and love wrestling, so they show up.
Yep. Tina's, I think, chiming in that Fanatics is a major place for licensed merchandise for sports as well. Yeah, I think they handle a lot of it across the board. They become a pretty big thing. Yeah, it is kind of the best of both worlds because it's larger in life. These giant characters. It's kind of like meeting your favorite sports star, but they are also like Tom Cruise. Right? I mean, it is like that entertainment sports thing, and it just kind of captures more people's imaginations.
The wrestlers have personalities already. There's been many football stars didn't have much personality.
That's true.
But you need one in wrestling to be successful. So
it is wild to talk to a football player that you're used to seeing just smashing people on the gridiron, and they're like the most low key person to talk to. Like it is kind of like. Not jarring, but it's just surprising a little bit sometimes. So, but yeah, no, they definitely. So that was kind of the big news from wrestling there, and I love this one. This is one that I kind of personally kind of dug. There was this is according to, and again, take this all with a grain of salt because this is kind of a dirt sheet story. PW Insider was reporting that there were many times where Triple H is scrolling through Twitter. From WWE's gorilla position during the broadcast, paying very close attention to what the audience is saying about this.
I heard that when that Walk Culture was saying that.
Yeah, so that's been going around, and there was a picture I follow. Are you guys aware of Gary Vaynerchuk?
Oh yeah. I've read his books, and I actually watched some of his motivational stuff.
Same here. Big motivator for me for a lot of stuff I've done over the years, right?
Yeah.
But there was a picture of Triple H on the jet with his new book. Which I've read, by the way, and the name of it escapes me. But it's about like his big thing is attention, right? How do you get people's attention? And when you hear Triple H talk about this, we've heard like WWE people over the years saying, our AEW is in our competition, phones are a competition. You know what I mean? Like anything that takes attention away is your competition. This podcast. In a small part is competition for WWE, or at least NXT because they're on right now in their last half hour, and the chat room is going to keep us updated on if anything going on interesting over there, especially since we have some Pittsburgh friends that are a part of that. But yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense though, right? Like, I know when I do live shows, wrestling shows, independent shows, I notice who has Twitter following and who doesn't. Yeah, because there's two things that happen. One, I'm following a Twitter account for a live to make sure I'm not screwing up the live feed because that's really important, right? And also it's just like, are people doing things? Are people doing the clips? There are shows that I thought were big shows, have crazy stars on them, and I see zero social media. Like they're putting stuff out, but nobody's reciprocating. And then we do something like, you've been to 880. We'll talk about that later. It's a training school, right? And there's people tweeting about it every week and pictures of their cats watching TV.
I mean, I think it's tough though, because at a lot of indie shows I've gone to, it's only a small percentage of the fans there that are on social media, like on like X or whatever the case may be. Like those kids and like those moms at those shows that are like the casual fans, they're not freaking looking at any of that. So it's like you got to find a way to engage both like the live audience and like that social media digital footprint kind of vibe. So.
Kind of thing of like who's your audience, who you're making the show for, you know, and do you know, I think I talked about here a lot is like, are you making the show just for the fans and buying the tickets? Are you trying to expand? And is there considering the live audience? Are you considering the social media audience that's going to tell people about it and bring more people in? You know, it's kind of that idea. And WWE, of course, is doing this at scale and continue to break YouTube watch records or something for clips whenever Roman Reigns or The Rock sneezes at this point. It seems like, right? It's just like, hey, something happened on SmackDown. Hey, yeah, we're the top thing on YouTube, this weekend, which is a giant freaking number, right? So, I mean, look at Mr. Beast has a giant complex where he's trying to make like the biggest videos ever to be number one, you know, have a giant following on YouTube, and then WWE is just like, yeah, we did this, you know, which is like his star power, of course, is the difference there, I guess.
When it comes to the indie promoters, I'm a little more impressed of the ones that actually reach out to the fans and start asking questions.
Yes.
And, you know, trying to get to know, you know, what is it you like, what is it you don't like. They might cheer for something. You might think you know what they're cheering for or what they're booing. But, you know, it's a little, I think it's a little easier for them to find out when they have a conversation with those fans. And, you know, are you booing because you don't like that? No, we're booing because this over here was happening in the corner and it had nothing to do with this guy. I don't even know this, you know, well, whatever type of thing.
Well, that's true because, you know, I you know, different levels of promotions, you know, some promoters watch the footage back and kind of look at all those reactions again. Some are just kind of listen to the reaction from backstage. You know, I've been back there and hear like somebody go out and be like, well, that guy's not getting the belt, you know, or something like that. You know, I've heard those kinds of reactions from people running shows. But, you know, yeah, it is deeper. It's like, okay, but why? You know, if you're talking to somebody like, you know, a fan say, okay, why is this guy not hitting?
And those promoters are so busy, you know, sometimes they're not focused on the match. They're trying to take care of something in the back.
That's true too. So
area there.
It is attention. I mean, it's attention both ways, right? You know, so, and then some people just, you've also seen promotions that seem to book, you know, I don't know people if you've seen this around, it just seems like they just book the stuff they want to see, and then, you know,
it's their money.
It's their money.
Yeah, I really don't have a dog in that fight. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you know, and that's, I mean, you kind of see that also kind of matches which promotions are kind of on the rise and which ones kind of stagnate, right, to a certain extent. So,
and which ones cancel at the last minute.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Oh, okay. No, I still don't know who we're talking about, but I can think of like 5 examples in my head over the last 10 years.
Y'all done put me in some shit, man.
we're here for 10 minutes in and we're going to get you in trouble already. So, right? So, anyway, so that's the biggest thing happening there. And of course, WWE's leading into Berlin. Well, they got a double thing. What, Berlin and No Mercy, NXT No Mercy's Labor Day weekend.
Is it?
I believe so. And I think
when's Berlin?
That is, I believe, what did I think is the 30th, 31st, something like that. No Mercy. No, that's a movie named New Mercy, and it looks kind of sexy from 1986. That's not what I'm looking for. NXT No Mercy 2024. This is why I need a research department here.
Are you looking at pictures of Zeke Mercer? Is that what's going on?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm on a new search engine. So,
all right.
So no, it does not know that I know Zeke Mercer yet on here. So I'm trying to figure that out. Thank you. August 31st for Bash in Berlin, and I think No Mercy is the same weekend. So yeah, that would be the first that they're doing that. So,
so that's 2 PLEs in one weekend.
2 PLEs in one weekend. But
gosh.
But they do back-to-back NXTs in the same city. I don't think No Mercy is in Berlin. Is the difference.
So it's one day after the other?
Yes.
So it's like a very quick plane ride overseas to come back? Or where are these?
Denver,
places?
Colorado. And it's a different roster. So NXT.
Oh, it's an
Versus
NXT and a WWE. Oh,
yes.
okay.
So that's Colorado.
Yeah. That's typical.
What an interesting back to back there. Wait, when's Bad Blood? Isn't that early September as well? That is.
I thought I saw that. Was
Oh,
in
that's October 5th. That's right. If that doesn't have a Hell in a Cell, I don't know what we're doing at this point. But anyways, let's talk. We'll talk more here in a moment about what's going on with Pretty Boy Smooth in Cleveland. But in the meantime, want to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. You guys get a lot of perks. We get a live stream, especially, and we got extra stuff. Today, if you tune in the live stream while we're waiting to get the show started, Katie was still hanging out from Awesome Cast and was reading the sexy games that are on Netflix right now. So, and then actually, did you download one of them? Was that a Netflix one or another one?
What you're doing over there?
What game is that? Is that what you're still following up on that game? Too Hot to Handle 2. You just skipped the first one?
It's a TV show?
No, this is an app. This is a game. It's a Netflix game.
What are you doing?
There's sexy games, I guess, on apps and things.
Make a character and get what sexy. I heard get sexy with other. So I had the headphones on. I heard get sexy with mothers, and that's.
We need to turn AI off for a minute. It's going too far.
Oh, we should show you what we made with AI too, because we were playing with Grok AI on Twitter, and there's no guide rails on that one, and then it mansplained why Godzilla couldn't wear a Speedo to me when I try to make an image. So we were going someplace. It's just that's welcome to 2024.
Right.
Anyways, thank you, the Patreon people that can hear that on the Patreon only feed at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show, and you get to see the background if you're on that feed of when we have graphics, when we go to the commercial break, and you can be with us live for the Patreon recording afterwards. But thank you to everybody that does support the show over there, including Bo Diggity. Woo! Oh, wow, that peaked. That was rough.
Close?
That was rough. That was a little close.
I thought I was doing it.
That's all right. That's all right. You just let it out in the air. Team Hammerfist down in Florida, the Tupac family, Megan Nelson, Bubba Brewer, APWF, coming up here in Johnstown next week, if you're in the Central PA. And Jason French at the Poppy Club level, Dave Profbot Bonner, spouse of the Rooster Affair at roosteraffair.com, and Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid. At the Pizza Club level, The Riz, and at the manager level, Bradley. There he is.
And I'm wearing the scarf that Megan Nelson bought for me.
There you go. It all comes together. It all comes together. And Tina Keys out there in Seattle, the mother of dragons herself, joining the show and in the chat room as well. So this weekend, Journey to Pretty Boy Smooth, you have a nice big shiny belt over there with a long name I'm not going to repeat again. We're just going to call it the Midwest Championship for the moment.
NWA Midwest.
NWA Midwest Champion for short, and all the rest of the words if you're nasty. But anyways, so like I said, I kind of came in and started helping out a bit with the Exodus Pro on the production side about a year ago, and you were already talking about how kind of dare I say organized it is. Yeah. But like I've never been on a show like this that wasn't like Impact or something like that.
Well, that's just the thing. Like EC3 is trying to prepare us for television, you know, and like he wants to run it like it's television.
I love that.
So it's like we're all like when I told him when I joined Exodus, like my goal is to get an NWA contract. So like everything I'm learning there, everything I'm seeing there, it's kind of setting me up to be successful in that regard. So I really appreciate it. You know, a lot of indie shows are very disorganized and different things going on that just aren't in the best interest of everyone. So it's very nice to see it all cohesively ran in the right way.
Yeah, this was the first company that got the NWA territory expansion here about a year ago. I think there's several since. You were actually part of an interesting show. I'd love to hear a little bit about. You were part of the Back to the Territory show down. I think that was in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, and that looked like they were leaning into the high school gym vibe or something like that. It looked like, and I know this is a very intentional thing probably on their part because was it a power taping of some sort?
Yeah, it was NWA power taping. It's just the series is called Back to the Territories because it's highlighting all the territory promotions and sprinkling some NWA guys. I also want to note that we all stayed in Heroes Hideout, which was really nice. The cabin where they shot the Avengers. So I got the Iron Man suite, it's top guy territory, man.
Nice.
Exodus takes care of us,
Nice.
It's
Nice.
awesome.
Well, we won't tell you how Endgame ended. Does that mean you're going to turn around and become Doctor Doom?
Nah, not at all.
Don't have the Doctor Doom phase of your career here. Anyways, no, yeah. So it's been. I know you've been everywhere with this championship. This is the first championship with NWA Exodus Pro.
Yes.
That they put up. And you, I remember you got it, and I remember the first announcement I saw was you were bringing it to 880 Wrestling against Gannon Jones Jr.
Yeah, so I mean, here's the thing: like anyone that knows the lineage of NWA and what they did, like they always traveled.
Yeah.
So even though it's the Midwest Championship, I feel like it deserves to be everywhere. It's sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance. Like I don't view this as just an indie promotion championship. Like I defended it on power. Like it holds some prestige and value to it. So it's my task as the first champion to build that up. So I've tried to take it everywhere, from 880 against Gannon to just recently in Canada against two of the biggest horses they had out there, and still here.
I love it.
Building it up, you know what I mean?
You've always had a good history of this. I've seen you with other championships and just traveling around with it. Like tell me, like, you don't see a lot of promotions do that these days, right?
No.
What's kind of the move to, like, bring, obviously NWA championship, that's a big thing, and taking that around is I think you said something interesting when you're like, I have the, well, you said full blessing, you help me with the wording, to take this anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, because I mean, what happens is when you win a championship, there's either two things that happen. It's a title that makes a man or a man that makes the title. As the guy that is making this title, it's my job to set the standard for whoever else comes after me. And then also the fact that I want people to think of me when they think of the NWA Midwest Championship. So, yeah, I just try to take it everywhere I can go. And I mean, Rise was a great catalyst for me. When I was the Rise Grand Champion, I got the opportunity to fly to Vegas and wrestle JTG for it. So, I mean, I have a little history and experience with, like, making titles and helping promotions grow. And I'm just now doing that on a larger scale. So it's the same thing to me.
Yeah, I'm watching you with the Exodus title, and like you said, it's either the champion makes the belt makes the champion. I would almost say both is happening over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got the NWA blessing for sure. But, I just decided to show them the Urban Playboy, the Purple Rain, the photo shoots and the podcast. I'll actually be doing the Comic-Con area this year, September 20th to 22nd. I'll be there as a celebrity guest, you know what I mean? So just making it happen.
Are you, here's a side note here. Are you making a run for John McChesney's, we always call him the mayor of Erie?
That's all him, man. I got completely different goals.
How about Lieutenant Mayor?
Hey, shout out John McChesney. I wouldn't be a wrestler without him.
Absolutely.
I told you that story, right?
I'm sure you have. I don't know if it was on this show.
All right, so
And I think we have a lot of new eyeballs here tonight.
all right, so I was in grad school, and I was kind of like going through like a little depression phase or whatever, because I had stopped playing basketball and whatnot. And a girl that I worked with was telling me she was best friends with a girl that was dating a wrestler that was like local. And mind you, I didn't know about indie wrestling at this time. So I ended up going to a PWR show, and it's John McChesney. He's wrestling Matt Hardy. So it just threw me for
And
a
you knew
loop.
who Matt Hardy was,
Oh,
at least, right?
absolutely. And then like the next show, he's wrestling EC3. So like it's crazy. Like I just keep going, and then one night I get drunk, and I'm like, hey, like, what do you think about me like practicing to try to be a ref? And he just looked at me like I was stupid. And he's just like, you're too big. You just got to try out. And we just kind of went from there, and here I am.
Like somebody holding someone on the ropes, like, one, yes, sir.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't jacking it. It wasn't happening.
I love it. I don't know that we've dived too much into, because I remember you telling a story before, and I can't remember if it was on the show. Oh, it's worth retelling. But like, were you just like, I don't know if I can be a wrestler. I think I can pull off a ref. Did you, or was it just kind of learning it? Or
this is what really happened. I used to go to the shows by myself sometimes.
Yeah.
And then my college roommate, like his girlfriend wanted to come one time just to see what it was.
Mhm.
Because she knew, like, I used to have like these pay-per-view parties at like my apartment and whatnot.
Right.
So we're at the show and she's like, you look better and you're more athletic than like these guys we're watching. Like, why don't you try and do this?
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm 23, and she's like looking at me like all confused. I don't know. I was just,
Wait. Yeah, you're only 23.
I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, I didn't go to school for this or whatever. She's just like, and then like every time I was about to leave, somebody from the staff would look at me and ask me like when I was debuting, as if I was like security or something, because I would always get like front row tickets. Like I was just hella markish, and then it just got to a point.
And you kind of stuck out in front row.
Yeah, and then like I would hang out with John at after parties because of like the friendships and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So one night, you can thank a bottle of Parrot Bay for me being here.
As all good decisions are made, right?
Yeah.
You were paired with somebody that we have enjoyed. I just saw him this weekend at Neo Pro, and it's always fun. Pastor CeeLo.
Yeah.
Which just when I saw that you guys were coming together, I was like, this is perfect.
Exactly.
I don't know why, but this is perfect.
Yeah, that was really funny how that came about. I mean, I knew of Pastor CeeLo, but like I couldn't put like a face to the name.
And also, for those who don't know, like we know him. He's been in a lot of promotions that we filmed with over the past year or so. High energy is an understatement, I think. Comes out with an offer plate. I can't believe how much real money was going into that offer plate. He's got an offer plate on a stick now.
Oh, 1,000. He'd be moving.
I know we have a bit where whenever he's at 880, we start putting like my videographer will start putting like his car keys in there, a phone in there. He put a Nintendo Switch in there one time. Like it's a whole like fun thing that we get to do. But it's the crowd is not into the show yet. He's gonna get it going.
Yeah, well, I was doing a seminar with Sammy Callahan fairly recently, and when he had us doing like drills and whatnot, like I think that's the first time I really saw CeeLo in person, and like you knew like, all right, this is somebody. Like like the charisma is always there, the energy is always there, the passion's there, and he's just a fun guy to be around, and we've been making noise and making things happen. You know what I mean?
He has I don't know if I'll call it a feud with our friend from State Farm, and there's a big check involved. Several, I think, maybe at this point.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a feud. I would just call it a donation. You know, he was just giving us money. Like he was kind of stupid for betting against me in a match.
Okay,
you know what I mean. So that's on him.
Well, I mean, two things I love: that there's a giant novelty check. And Pastor CeeLo makes it all perfect. So it's been an interesting ride and see you guys together. So let's talk about something from we had Megan in here a couple months ago talking about she was feeding you grapes at one show. There was this whole thing. Exodus. I love this concept that Exodus does. There's always some kind of shenanigans in the corner, like it feels like how there's like the funeral parlor info, interview segment over in the corner at Superstars, and you're like, was that thing there the whole time, kind of deal. So like there's Tiffany, what's her name? Tiffany Nieves had like it was a Puerto Rican parade kind of concept, and she had this big chair and everything, and it was treated like the princess. The slime balls had PP punch or something in the corner, and it was kind of interesting. You had like this big Greek thing in the corner. I think you're the first ones that did that too.
We were. I mean, we had the money to blow, so why not? And here's the thing that I feel is missing on like a lot of indie promotions. There's a lot of events that run just matches, and if you watch professional wrestling, it's more than just matches. Like there's other ways to present people as a star and to make you care about them and to get people invested. And I'm in a position now where I have the freedom to truly be myself and stretch my wings and see what the extent of that is. Like me and CeeLo do that together, and like that was just one of those things where I'm the urban playboy, I'm the top dog here, I'm the head emperor, whatever you want to call it. And we want to just show y'all that,
Yeah, the Megan and Kaylee, and I forget who the third woman was. with that.
Don't put me on the spot. Oh, yes, Amanda.
Yeah.
Amanda's beautiful. That's one of the homies.
I was frustrated only because I wanted to be there, but I wanted to like recite poetry, but it would be all like WWE entrance music lyrics.
See, the last thing I was thinking about was wrestling, my man. You couldn't have, you would have ruined the vibe.
You didn't even know there were matches going on at that point, right?
Fair enough.
I mean, yeah. there was a lot of distractions in the corner there, Bradley. So
yeah, I was just living my life, man.
I mean, I got to keep the videographers in control, and then there's just this is happening in the corner, you know. So, really, so again, the big announcement came out. I want to say just over a week ago. This is the first event. You know, Exodus has not been. I think other than the first show might have streamed somewhere before we came in. But Exodus has not been streaming their shows. You've been seeing clips online and everything. We've been shooting these shows. You know, a lot of my team's been coming up and helping me with these, and it's been a really fun experience on our side. But they reached an agreement that it's going to be streaming on NWA's YouTube page, YouTube account page. Everyone, it's going to be on your phone. It's going to be on your TV. Either way, you're going to be able to see this thing. So it's going to be their debut as far as that goes. You know. Obviously, you've been a lot of places with the belt, you know, TV tapings, all and the like, and everything. You know, what does it mean when you saw that announcement come down?
It was awesome. You know, like words can't describe how excited I was. I mean, if you look at the YouTube channel, it has about 250,000 subscribers.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's an opportunity to get a lot of new eyes on you, a lot of regular NWA Power fans to watch the product, you know what I mean? So, and as the first territory, like, it's big for us. It solidifies us as the top territory.
Yeah.
And we have a roster jam-packed of stars, you know? I mean, I'm obviously the guy, but we have a lot of guys, you know what I mean? So, and girls, and like, we just have a dope roster, and I'm excited for everyone to see it and see that we bring something different to the table.
Big show, of course, headlined by EC3 and Holiday for the NWA Championship, World Heavyweight Championship. I'll get that right.
Yeah.
Of course. You are defending that championship against, I'm trying to bring up the name here.
That Chia Pet?
The Chia Pet? Is that what you call him? He's always Tiger Guy to me when he comes up. And I'll get the match graphics here in a moment. There you go. Dante Casanova.
Yeah. So in all seriousness, Dante is a undervalued, underappreciated talent. You know, like he's a best kept secret.
He's one of those guys where as soon as he stepped through the entrance and hit our cameras, like,
you know what time
it's just like, okay, like here we go. You know, like he's got the presence right out the gate. I don't know how far in he is in his career or anything like that.
I believe he's only been wrestling 3 years, and I know he's in like the Florida scene. But the dude is like a star. Like he's unbelievable, honestly. Like I actually told him that the first time I saw him, you know what I mean? Like I really rock with what he's doing. Now, I think it would be better served for him to keep honing his craft and, you know, doing what he got to do as opposed to going for this, because this is a different kind of weight. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a little bit of a hiccup road bump for him this weekend, you're saying.
Yeah, but you learn and grow, and like I feel like I'd be doing
He's shooting a shot. He's shooting a shot.
I'm doing him a favor, you know what I mean? Like you got to keep him humble.
Exactly.
It's one of those young kids that like starts getting going, like, oh, I could do anything. I could do any. Oh, I could take that title, and then you like,
and he's had a good run at Exodus too.
I wouldn't even call him one of those because in all honesty, if I hadn't won this championship, he might have. You know, the match was supposed to be him versus Cal, and unfortunately, he had an injury he had to deal with. He had to step out, and you know, I just took advantage of the opportunity because I'm used to doing that. And things have blown up for me. You know what I mean? Like I said, when I first won the title, it's 50,000 views on the internet, just making moves and whatnot. So, you know, I'm kind of showing him what he needs to do once, you know, if I ever feel like giving this up.
You're setting an example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have to mention, because this is somebody we know in the area, know on the show, the former Mambo Italiano is going to have another gauntlet I understand. I don't think the last one, I thought it was like a 10,000 man gauntlet and he got about 5 people in. But
Cristiano Argento.
Cristiano Argento.
Cristiano,
Yes.
okay,
Yes. And it's been an interesting shift for him. But it's been a lot of fun to see that. I mean, that's somebody you've seen over the years here in the Pittsburgh area as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's been putting in the work. Like, you can look at his body; he's starting to look more like a Greek god. You know, I had to whip his ass too, but all support to him and love to him. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Again, all this is going to be on YouTube, NWA's YouTube page this Saturday. If you want to find out what all the buzz from NWA Exodus Pro is about. It's been an incredible journey there. We're going to continue talking with you here in a moment. And at the break, at the commercial break, you're actually going to be, if you're with us on the video version, we're actually going to show you a little bit of an update of, I guess, what's going on with PrettyBoy Smooth and Patrick CeeLo going into this next show, right? So stay tuned to that if you're on the video version of this, or go over to the, I believe it's over on their Facebook page, YouTube page probably as well. So I know I'll definitely be on the pre-show because I just made that today. In the meantime, we'll take one moment to go check out more wrestling. Now, Exodus Pro, they're a great partner we get to work with, but of course, we do have a lot more going on over at IndyWrestling.us. We are recording this weekend. Our good friends APWF, we actually put out their show, which also featured the NWA World Heavyweight Champion EC3. He's everywhere, it seems. I swear I filmed.
Hardest working champion, man.
How did I go from 0 to doing like 5 NWA Heavyweight Championship matches in 1 year, right? On video side. The champ gets around, and it seems to be always in front of my camera. But no, APWF's Evolution from in June premiered here on our YouTube channel and free on IndyWrestling.network. So you want to go check that out. That's a really fun show. A lot of really good talent on that. So including Bill Collier against EC3 for the Heavyweight Championship for the NWA. There will be a filming if you're in the Central PA, of course, in Johnstown with APWF. And of course, that'll be on network as well. This Thursday and Friday, let's say, is 880 Wrestling. If you're around the New Kensington area, both will be streamed free on our YouTube page for IndyWrestling.us. And actually everywhere else. I'm working on Twitter right now. It didn't work today, but we're going to get back to it. And everything else. But all that kind of stuff. So go check out all of it, IndyWrestling.us. We also have just dropped the most recent Neo Pro show Midsummer. And of course, the next show from this past weekend, Gold Rush Royale, will be coming up on the network as well. Prospect Pro Wrestling, Renegade Wrestling Alliance, some classic Rise Wrestling with PrettyBoy Smooth. You can see, actually, we got a bit of your stuff from the Pittsburgh area on there, actually. So go to IndyWrestling.us and just type in PrettyBoy Smooth and see what comes up on the YouTube page, on the website, wherever.
He was with me in the sandbox.
What's that?
He was with me in the sandbox. I appreciate it.
I mean, yeah, catch up. I mean, we got a lot of great history of a lot of great people, a lot of great current champs, all that kind of stuff. That's what I love about that. And we get to dig that up sometimes when it's like, hey, and this is where they came from, right? And you get to see more of the story, if you will. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's one of the cool things that we get to do, partnering with all these promotions and seeing so many people come through either on the studio, in the promotions, and seeing you guys. PB, I've seen you grow up.
Yeah, you see me beat Wardlow.
I remember baby PB.
Yeah.
Always taller than us anyways.
Yeah, 60 pounds lighter wearing a Gucci belt, and my hair was shorter.
yes. The clothes has gotten better, and it was already better dressed than me when you started. So, I mean, look at me. I'm just like, oh, good, it's cold. I can wear long sleeves. Anyways, I want to update on you because last time we were on, I think you were just doing, you were just starting the scholarship program.
Yeah.
Which is tremendous. Every time I see on my feed, I'm sharing it out there. It's a great cause. For those new to this, you got this bigger platform with everything, with the championship and everything. For people that don't know, tell us about the scholarship and kind of how it's been going.
Okay, so the PB Provides Scholarship is a scholarship that, excuse me, it's really late, so I'm trying to articulate myself properly.
And you dealt with Pittsburgh traffic, so.
Yeah, so pretty much it's a financial award of one time of $1,000 that either goes to a student that's either going to Mercyhurst University or like they're recruited there.
And this is your alma mater, of course, right?
Yes,
yeah.
I graduated from Mercyhurst twice, actually, undergrad and grad. and the student's going into the communication department, and it's a black student. So the reason I'm doing this is because I feel effective communication is lacking in today's world, whether it be journalism, reading, writing, interviewing, just plain research, with the rise of like misinformation and whatnot. And I feel like we need more people to appreciate, communication. Like I feel like it's a very undervalued major. And I also want to help diversify my school. So it's for, like I said, a black student that's looking to get a degree in communication. So we've given it to 4 different students so far. If you can find my link tree or any of my social media platforms, there's a way to get to it. And whenever you donate, the money goes right to the school, so I don't touch it.
And where's your link tree at?
It's in my Instagram bio, on my X bio. Just type in PrettyBoy Smooth, PrettyBoySmooth.com. Katie Dutters runs all that. So that's the person behind the mask of PB Enterprises, because I am technologically illiterate sometimes.
Everybody needs a little bit of help sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good business person. Is you fill in somebody that what you don't know, you get somebody to do it for you.
Yeah, you
right?
got to be resourceful. It's the only way.
Because not everybody can do everything by themselves. So
Not at all.
So and I think that's a bit. I think it's a tip for new wrestlers is like, hey, how do I do this stuff? Is like the link tree is kind of it's a free to start kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's a nice place for you to like put everything that's, because I know you have like your scholarship, your bio, like if you have your acting reel on this
Oh, we
too.
got everything.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. We have a website and we have a link tree.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. Like we have so much going on that I'm trying to go through and reorganize and try to figure out. So we're going to sit down and get through all that.
That's so so smart though, because there's like I feel like when I'm putting myself out there, like I'll fill out something for a gig and be like, okay, where do I show them stuff that I've done? And I have like 3 links.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even that organized.
Yeah. I mean, what helped me, like, honestly, going to school and like learning about marketing and whatnot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I knew I had to get it done. I may not know how to do it, but I know it needs to be done. So
That's whenever I hear a wrestler has like a communication degree or something, that's usually like they're doing the best as far as marketing themselves, typically, or a business degree or something like that, right?
well, some of the same rules apply. And you just forget that.
You're all your own business.
Yeah.
You're all a independent professional, and you don't have a manager. I don't know if CeeLo is doing any of the bookings for you or anything in his position, but other than that, but not everybody has a Jimmy Hart,
Yeah, I mean, so it helps to know how to write cover letters and how to do all this kind of stuff. The only thing I wish I did was take more graphic design classes. That would have helped me, but other than that, we make it work.
Everybody sign up for Canva. Every wrestler, every promotion should have a Canva account. I'm just going to leave it at that, and you can explore why. But really, there's also a lot more tools here these days than we did like even 10 years ago, right? So
yeah, and if you get the newest iPhone, you really don't even need a camera because it's so cinematic.
Yep. You'd be amazed what I'm doing with clients with my iPhone. A lot of great stuff going on there. Mentioned acting. Weren't you in a movie recently that came out?
I was in 3 different movies.
Okay.
The last one was Carousel 3.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the whole premise of these films. Shout out Steve Rosinski. He's actually a director that lives right here in Pittsburgh. It's about a serial killer that's a carousel unicorn.
Wait, what? Tell me more. Are you the unicorn?
I'm not the unicorn.
Okay. We had to clarify that right off the bat.
No, but I do play someone that is the child of the person that was killed by this unicorn. So I'm kind of on my revenge bag.
Okay.
But you find out in the second film like why it's like a carousel unicorn, because like a soul got.
So there's character development.
Oh, there's deep character development.
Okay.
And like this is like a hit like in other countries. Like I'm not kidding. Like he has like it's doing well. And I mean, he took care of me when I did that film. That's actually not the first film I did for him. Like I did Shingles, the movie, not the actual disease or whatever. It's
I think that one was on Amazon or something, right?
Yeah, and it's on Tubi now too.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that's
so we could watch it for free. There you go.
Yeah, so that one's pretty much like an adult parody of Goosebumps,
Okay.
and they're based on these books written by this group called Authors and Dragons. So I had a really cool role in there that I really enjoyed.
That's
I was
awesome.
like the sidekick to like the main guy. It's like a 4-tale anthology. So yeah, they're nuts. I will say that. So,
I feel like if you were president of the United States, you would not have enough to do.
I like to stay busy, man. I'm ambitious, and I want to be known for my work ethic and my accomplishments. So
Well, I think you see that. You see that a lot. Like I God, WWE wrestlers. Drew McIntyre's in the new Batista movie.
that's the name,
right?
I want the Batista career.
You want
That's
that's
what I
so
want.
you keep talking about this, and I know these are like kind of low budget movies, right?
Yeah.
And I keep thinking of the movie that had Rob Van Dam and Batista, and it was one of his earlier ones, and I can't remember the name of it, but I watched it on Netflix or something, and I just remember Batista awkwardly holding an Uzi, and I'm just like every time I see him like be Drax or have a lead role or the next spy, My Spy just came up on Amazon. I'm just like I just go back to that first movie where he's holding the awkwardly holding an Uzi in the worst like you got to start somewhere and grow up from that, right?
Well, if you go watch the first movie I was in, I was awkwardly holding an Uzi as well.
I remember that actually.
Yes.
I remember the clip.
Yes.
Yes.
Back to Vengeance. I got to do fight
That's why
scenes.
that connected in my head.
Yeah.
See, so someday you're gonna be fucking Drax.
Hey, I'm cool with it.
There you go. Hey, you know what? They're got to reboot Marvel sooner or later. Why not, right?
Man, I want to be Blade for real.
Yes.
But I love Wesley Snipes, man. That's my guy.
Did you see the new?
I did.
And what was
I like screamed inside. I don't like talking movie theaters, but I was like hyped. I was hyped.
It was I think it was like second or third day in, so like the whole crowd was like,
Yeah,
because it wasn't out yet, right?
Yeah.
So, that's awesome. So, remember us when you're doing part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'll never forget you guys, man. I drove all the way out here.
That's right. That is right.
So he does all of this, and he's driving down from Erie
Mhm.
to do this show. He's not remoting or anything.
No,
And
no.
I'll be up probably at 4:30 in the morning, get ready to go to the gym tomorrow.
Oh my
it is what it
gosh.
is.
Jeez, bad.
That's what it takes when you the champ. It takes what it takes. You gotta make appearances. You gotta do what you gotta do.
This is your media tour.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dante, you ready for this? It's a lot that come with it.
Is Dante doing any podcasts this week? Is he traveling God knows where for this?
I don't know. I mean, he be in the gym though. That dude is.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
He jacked. I'll give him that. That man swole.
This is definitely one of the matches I'm looking forward to. Again, NWA Exodus Pro's Journey 2 will be Saturday at 6:05 p.m. Eastern.
Love it.
I remember I first saw that. It took me a second to be like 6:05. What is that? And I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah.
NWA on TBS, of course, right? So,
Hey man, I'm just happy that we get out at a good time.
oh yeah.
I'll tell you what. When I wrestled in Canada on Sunday, the show started at 2, and I was home in my house with my dogs at 9 p.m.
What?
It's perfect.
That's amazing.
Perfect.
Early wrestling shows. I don't know. I go do a 3 p.m. in south of Wheeling, and I still don't get home until 10 p.m. I'm doing this wrong, obviously.
Well, you got to
So,
pack up all this equipment and all that.
Yeah, and then we usually end up at Outback and
Yeah,
Texas
that's what's
Roadhouse,
keeping
and Bradley's tagging along, and
I pack my food and I'm gone.
that's right.
I'm out of here.
It's a long. Usually, it's a long day after about 3 or 4 days of shows. So
Yeah.
we're just like, I'm just gonna eat all the bread at the table and just we're done.
I ain't
We're
gonna be able
done.
to drive if I
I've been-
do that. I'll be tired.
I'm just I don't want to get in the car. I don't
Yeah.
just give me peanuts. Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Love you, Triadelphia. Anyways, all right, we're gonna go to break real quick. We'll come back. We're gonna take a look into what All In is this weekend, right? Keeping up with all the shows, and have some more with PrettyBoy Smooth, the NWA Exodus Pro
Just say
Midwest
NWA
World
Midwest.
Heavyweight
Oh,
Champion.
man.
No, I got to give you the big one, man. Come on. A big belt, big championship announcement. Come on. We'll be right back after this.
Urban Playboy PrettyBoy Smooth is not a placeholder champion. When you were out hurt, I stepped up and did what you couldn't. Multiple defenses, multiple states, outside the country, I've taken this championship to heights deserving of the NWA name, something you, Dante, could never do. You should be thanking me. I'm the most dominant big man in professional wrestling, the G.O.D. of CLE, and at Journey 2, the Purple Rain will continue.
Exodus Pro's first wrestling event, a journey home. Dante Casanova shouldn't have been on that card. Why? Because I wasn't a name yet. Dante Casanova wasn't on anybody's radar, and that was their first mistake. So what did I do? Well, I did what I do best. I bet on myself. I showed up to Preface. I conquered Preface, and I earned my spot. I sent a message to everyone in the back. You see, Dante Casanova wasn't just here to be another roster member, no. Dante Casanova was here to be the roster member. And with each passing show, I showed just why I am the most dominant force in all of Exodus Pro. And as I'm about to have the most defining moment in my career, an injury took me out. In comes PrettyBoy Smooth. Now, PB, you stepped up when I had to step down, and for that you have my respect. But most importantly, now you have my attention because you have something that belongs to me. You have my NWA Exodus Midwest Championship.
Have you broke your daily bread, Dante? Have you broke your daily bread?
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For mercy, you're all alone, unable to handle the pressure of forced mortification. Now let the torture begin.
We are back, Wrestling Mayhem show. We got well, Bradley's here, and PrettyBoy Smooth, the NWA Midwest Champion. I'm going to do the short version this time. You had some big news. You wanted to mention over the break because your PR manager here reminded you of something.
Yeah, shout out Katie Dutters. Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at without her. She's held me down from the beginning. You know, I just want you to give you your flowers publicly. But yeah, big news. My merch store is finally reopened. I stopped selling merch online for a very long time for personal reasons, but it's back now. I just put up a new shirt design. It's called the Purple Rain. It's to commemorate my championship right now. You know, first ever NWA Midwest Champion. So go pick that up. And I will actually have a new shirt dropping this Friday, most likely. So
awesome.
Oh yeah.
We've had a bit of commentary from the chat room here throughout. So I wanted to touch base on that a little bit over on I think this is the Mayhem Show YouTube. Jesse Fortini says, "Tell a champ I said what's up. Sending love from Boston, Massachusetts."
Yes, sir. Have somebody out there book me. You know what's out there? Limitless. I'll go to Limitless.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the New England scene. So I've seen some boxing out there though. So that was interesting. So
who else lives? Isn't Dijak from Massachusetts?
Is he?
I think he's from like out there somewhere. I kind of had a mini run-in with him before. I wonder if I'm gonna see him down the line.
I'd like to see it. I
saw
for
that.
sure. Yeah,
I saw that. Look.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
He's available and around the Indies right now. So, and I hear doing good stuff. I was talking with some people that work with him. He's really great on shows. So, so All In is this weekend. That's the other big show happening. So let's mention that a little bit. That's Sunday, so it's not in the way of NWA. You can watch both shows. You have so many choices this weekend.
Yes.
And NWA is free on YouTube. But a lot of stuff happened in there. Of course, the big one is this Bryan Danielson's retirement match? Question mark. Against Swerve Strickland, who has been doing an amazing job as champ. Really has kind of risen to the occasion, I think, for the most part here.
I think he's doing a better job than Joe.
Oh yeah, Joe.
I am not saying Joe did a bad job.
Okay,
but I think he's bringing it up a little bit higher than Joe did.
I think Swerve has a little bit more to prove than Joe.
That's part of it.
Yeah,
that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
He holds that title like he's got a on the chip on his shoulder. That's what I'm trying to say. He's holding that title like I don't care if I have this title. I still need to prove myself.
Mm-hmm.
And he's facing some serious opponents for that title and everything. And now he's going to face Bryan Danielson. So that should be a good match.
Yeah, and really, I think we're in a position like I couldn't tell you who's going to win this. I don't know if this is Bryan being done. It's weird how they've been playing it lately. And like I think Swerve needs to have a long title run at this point. Like I think he really could at this point with this thing. So.
If he loses it, how many months would that be?
Jeez.
4?
Was it Revolution he won the belt?
Could be.
Maybe. So March. So
5
it's
months.
been 4 or 5 months he'll have at that point. So I don't know.
So again, not incredibly long.
Mm-hmm.
Joe had it for 3, right? 3 or 4?
So. Yeah, because he would have gone in at World's End into Revolution. If I have that right, I'm sure chat room's going to correct me in a moment here.
And I agree with you. These top championships can't be flipping over every 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm,
you know, WWE's learning that themselves. You know, they're not racing to get that title off of Cody.
Mm-hmm. Tina's in the chat room saying, I wouldn't be surprised to see a certain commentator get involved on this. So Nigel McGuinness, who has been vocally very anti-Bryan.
He's not yeah.
What does he call him? A clam digger? Every week on the show. This is the one. Sorry, Will Ospreay. This is the one I'm most excited for. Toni Storm and Mariah May.
Yeah,
for the women's championship. This has been such a fun feud.
Absolutely.
It is
Well, the fun story, not just the feud, the whole story for the last, what was 7 months, a year, or whatever.
Mhm.
It's been a nice, long story.
I love they acknowledge, because I think maybe Tina brought it up in the chat room the week it happened when Mariah turned on Tony and it's an old movie, and then the next day I saw Tony Khan saying, yeah, it's this movie from the 50s and we've been doing it key by key and it's been perfect, and it was, I think RJ City came up with it, which of course RJ did, right. So
Busted Open, Dave LaGreca was saying after that turn, he was saying Tony cannot, this is his opinion, Tony cannot be coming out in character. She's got to be herself now. And I was like, in my mind, I'm saying to my Sirius XM, absolutely not.
This is what you do on this show when you're listening. You yell at the the podcast machine
often.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But except if PB's on the show, then if he can't hear me, I'm still saying sir. But otherwise, yeah, I'm screaming my head. No, but I'm like, no, absolutely not. Tony has got to be in character, and she's doing that, and she's doing such a great job with that. I think Mariah's winning the title.
She's pulling in different movies at this point. It's so fun. AEW American Championship, MJF and Will Ospreay 2.
That's got to be good.
They went an hour on Dynamite.
I'm getting caught up. I just saw his MJF's match with Fletcher.
Fletcher? Oh yeah, Kyle Fletcher from a couple weeks ago. Yeah, seriously,
and
that is I don't know how you follow up a near hour match with this, on this stage. So, other than MJF is just being the most American, going to going to CMLL as the American champion, and I think they dropped a flag and everything on him, right? So. Doing the whole gimmick. TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker.
That should be good. I got the feeling, like a lot of the people do, that Mercedes Moné, I don't think she's been that impressive at AEW. Some people might disagree. But it's not as impressive as one would have thought that she would be. But she has a chance here. Britt Baker can have a really good match with those two. So maybe she'll keep building herself up.
A lot of other matches there, but I mean, I think this will be a good one. So it was announced All In is going to be in Texas next year at the Ranger Stadium, which they've been doing that residency for the last month and a half at the esports arena. The one thing I've loved about that, of course, I'm the one that's paying for Ring of Honor. So in watching that, I feel like I'm the only one sometimes. But I've been digging because they just had a championship episode where they defend a bunch of the belts, and I feel like Ring of Honor, and I don't know if you attended old Ring of Honor shows as a fan growing up or anything. I feel like Ring of Honor feels better in a small venue, for that vibe and what they try to accomplish there. And that esports arena, it was really kind of hitting, and had a lot of energy versus filming matches after Rampage and Dynamite. Oh my God, live show, with the fans that were left in the arena. I feel I feel like it deserves the dedication of that. In my mind, I want to put this out in the universe. In my mind, I would love to see Ring of Honor separate off enough, and maybe this is the goal when they build it up enough. Maybe this is how NXT is going on tour now for their CW debuts the next, those first 2 weeks. And I'd be curious to see if that continues or if they go back to the Performance Center. But I would love to see Ring of Honor just do a small venue tour, for their tapings. Maybe not stage AE or anything like that small, but actually I don't know what the in between is from the Peterson Event Center and stage AE. What is that wrestling venue? That you could stick.
Do you think the roster is strong enough?
To compared to what Ring of Honor was, yeah, absolutely.
One issue I could see is, why should I watch Ring of Honor? The Ring of Honor champion is on who's Ring of Honor champion?
Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, very good. No, he lost the title, didn't he? Am I way off?
No.
Okay, I'm way off. I'm sorry. Why am I watching Ring of Honor? I can watch Mark Briscoe on Dynamite. I can watch him on, it doesn't make it special. Like, oh God, because you still have to pay to watch Ring of Honor, the show itself.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. But
So-
if you're seeing a lot of stars that are on TV and Ring of Honor comes to your town, but AEW hasn't recently, you get to see
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe and stuff like that, right? So, I mean, the pay-per-views by themselves, we attended the one WrestleMania weekend. And
They're
it was
doing well.
It was
Okay.
yeah, I think it was filled pretty well. It was like, again, kind of a Pusers event center on campus kind of basketball arena kind of thing. So like I think it filled out pretty decent there.
Fair enough.
And that was a lot of okay, everybody's in town for WrestleMania, sure, but like still like that was a lone thing. And I think there was a good vibe to it. So and it was a really fun show. It was a really fun show. I'm really glad we got to attend that and see that. And that's one where Mark won the championship, I think. First time Ring of Honor champion.
Mm-hmm.
So it was some really good moments. So I think there's opportunity there. I think it again, they keep saying there's big announcements coming up. Apparently All In Texas was not the big announcement, apparently. So we'll see what
Somebody
happens.
was making a suggestion that they made it now so that they don't have some awkward thing where they're in England and says next year we're not going to be here. They want
Yeah, get it out of the way so they're not like expecting to. And also, doesn't that spike sales in London? Because if you're like, oh, you guys just always come back to London, I'll come next year, and now you're like, oh shit,
oh boy,
this is my last chance. I have to go to Texas. I'm from England. Where's Texas? Also,
what's Texas?
And also, what is a Texas? But anyways,
that show's on at 11 o'clock in the morning here.
So Tina had the math in the chat room actually. So do you like your pay-per-views at odd times? Because 0 Hour is set to start at noon Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
And that, by the way, that match is going to be Will Nightingale and Ishii against Chris Statlander and Stokely.
Really?
Yes. And I think the winner gets a stipulation for Willow and Chris at All Out in I forget where that's happening. And it's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're on the West Coast, the show starts at 9 a.m. for 0 Hour. So get your Cheerios.
Oh gosh,
ready and watch. I have not seen what time the Berlin show is yet. Probably around the same time. Honestly, I don't know how time zones work in Europe. Anyways. Bradley, you wanted a moment.
I did want a moment. 880, the last show I was at, had the full...
Good seeing you in the crowd, by the way.
What? I'm sorry?
Good seeing you in the crowd, by the way.
Good being there. We're seeing the full-fledged invasion of Black Hand Society.
For those that do not know what the Black Hand Society is, can you fill them in?
Black Hand Society started in West Virginia, and at that point, it was Ty Cross, Edric Everhart, Jack Pollock, and Peyton Graham, all led by Marcus Mann. And they ran roughshod over West Virginia for years.
Mm-hmm.
And but eventually, the things, Matt Edric Everhart was champion. Jack and Peyton were tag champions for years.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, Edric lost his title to Matt Connard. There's a point to this part. Pollock and Peyton Graham lost their titles to Remy and Keith Hott.
Mm-hmm.
Remy LeVay, thank you. They then started another organization in the Pittsburgh area, but that only went for so long because of problems with the promoter, and I'm not going to mention the promoter, but everybody had problems with the promoter, and today that promoter doesn't really have too much to promote.
Mm-hmm.
And but now that they're in 880, they've brought in Matt Connard. They've brought in Remy LeVay is the new champion there.
Mm-hmm. And they brought in a lot of creepy videos.
And, Marcus Mann made a number of videos on his Instagram, which I would implore 880 fans to go and listen to. It takes a little while, but he's going over legacies, and he's talking about people that he feels have been quote unquote forgotten. He talks about Shirley Doe. He talks about Jake Garrett. He talks about Quinn Magnum, saying that he feels these people are being forgotten. And then he's got one more video. It's about, the long version is about 20 minutes, but it's still worth a listen. His frustration is that he feels like he's going to get forgotten. And he needs to do something now to create his legacy. He feels like he made these legacies in these other organizations that, because of controversy, those legacies are lost. Mm-hmm. They're not lost. His legacy, the legacy of the people that wrestled in West Virginia is not lost. Just that organization is not there anymore. Mm-hmm. Same thing for the organization in Pittsburgh. So, no, I don't think he's being forgotten. I don't believe that. And I also, you know what they say in wrestling, and PB, you can go along with this. They always say, wrestling doesn't know you anything. But if I didn't know better, I would say Marcus is coming out now after his years saying he thinks wrestling owes him something. Mm-hmm. So he's going to decide he's going to take it. And he's taking it the least respectful way possible. Mm-hmm. You know, with interference and all the things that are just going to, you know, lessen the accomplishments that you're making. He could do this without doing it the way he's doing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I just don't feel like he's doing it the right way. Mm-hmm. I guess that's my rant right there.
Okay. But it is interesting though. It's interesting to see this group together. Because I know I've never seen the group because I've always been somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So and you know, not places that I've been able to see the video or anything like that. So I've always heard about this. So it's interesting to see it play out.
And the interesting part is Jack's actually on the other side of the fence from the Black Hands. Mm-hmm. He's on 880's side. But you know, Marcus thinks he's just going to take over 880 because he wants to have a legacy someplace. Mm-hmm. But he has a legacy. It may not be talked about every day. It might not be talked, but there's people that talk about it. Mm-hmm. I have friends I talk about what they did in PWX and what they did in other places. But I just feel like he's going about the wrong way. And I got that off my chest there.
This was very informative because I've always seen those Black Hand Society T-shirts and had no clue what that was.
Because you work with Edric and everybody a lot, like down in Uniontown, right?
Yeah,
so
I had no clue what that was.
It was.
I met Edric when he was System Elite.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this was like before that, right? Because I remember like we'd have these guys on the show and they tell us about all this history of Black Hand Society, and I'm just like, it's always interesting because there's always, you know, this is something we were talking about before the show with what I guess I did in the promo about how we're bringing up history and stuff as much as we can. You know, because I always hear stories about like, yeah, they did this and this, and Keith was talking about the what was the team, the group that Keith Hott had down there in West Virginia that we filmed.
Oh,
there was the cage match and everything.
It was like him and Ty and Edric,
the Resurgence
and
or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you know, I would know nothing about it if there wasn't, you know, I think video. But if there's not video of it, does it exist, right? Other than on Cage Match, did it even get to Cage Match? You know, there's your legacy. Ask Cowpoke.
The legacy's there.
Yeah, the legacy is
it's
there.
Not lost.
But also, like, how much stuff? You know how many times I have, especially the Order of Veterans. Hey, do you have this match from so and so, so and so, and so and so? And I was like, bro, I don't, you know, and it's from like an age where there were VHS tapes. You're lucky if you have half of those matches. You know what? You know how many matches of like CM Punk from the 2000s probably do not exist on film, mm-hmm. or in somebody's closet in a box somewhere, and that's the only place it exists. Like, it's crazy when you think about that lost thing, you know, like it drives me nuts to see a wrestling show not filmed.
I remember Matt Connard on this show saying he had a match with Chris Hero that was lost, but it's actually I found it for him. It's on YouTube.
There you go. There you
You
go.
know that.
That's sick.
Yeah.
We all went up in a blizzard. You know, like maybe an inch of snow all over the roads. You know, sliding to get to this place to see Chris Hero and Matt Connor face each other.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Do you have any matches that you've seen like that you had that you wish you had that footage of like in your history?
No.
No? You've been
I
very
mean, there's some that I'm glad are never going to see the light of day.
I know. Every time I post an old match from several years ago, I'm just like, who's going to hate this match is out there in the public?
Oh yeah, I definitely have a few of those. But I mean, you know
I'm sure
how
I posted a couple of them.
Whenever I need footage, I'm going to message you until I eventually get it.
I love when people message me for shows that I had nothing to do with.
I do. I will say this. I do have another YouTube account that like is not accessible to like fans or whatever, and I have like some of my practice matches on there, and those are crazy.
That's
it's like
for the very special Pretty Boy Smooth DVD that we're going to put out someday, right?
Yeah, there's like a video of like JJ Rumham trying to do a 450 on Brohemoth.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
I got some crazy stuff, bro. That ain't never getting out.
No.
That ain't never getting out.
Those are just folklore at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the only clip that I would want is like my debut. Like I actually hit Shane Douglas in the head with a trash can.
That was your debut?
That was my debut.
Oh gosh!
Hell.
But I actually have the clip. Kinda, it's on my my Instagram. If I scroll back all the way to the beginning, it's like the fourth like thing I posted. But I don't have that. I wasn't actually in the match. I was just security.
Sure.
And then I just hit him with the trash can. And I joined J Rock and Rex Brody. So
it always feels like when if you're small and you're starting out, it's more likely your win-loss percentage is going to be low. But when you're big and you start out, it's more likely your win-loss percentage is going to be higher.
I mean, I'll tell you this.
That's just physics.
That's just physics. That's just,
Yeah, I mean,
hey, you got 2 degrees. That's just physics, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I debuted at AIW, I beat a bunch of people. It was Matt Justice, Eddie Kingston, T Money. I'm sure there's like 1 or 2 other guys in there.
It's interesting. It's kind of interesting where it goes because I love like you talk like Big Show does interviews. He's like, I got the worst record in wrestling, right? Because he was always the guy that, there's always like the guy that needs to be for somebody to overcome, right? And I think that's cool that you're like you. I don't know that doesn't happen everywhere in indie wrestling, and you've been really good about being like the top guy with your size and riding that and not being like something for somebody else to overcome.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Like when I first started, it definitely was not like that. Like I told you who I lost to at a promotion I'll never work for again. Yeah. So I mean, like we've had those times, but I feel like a lot of wrestling is perception and like how you carry yourself and believability. And I've turned myself into what is an actual monster in that ring, and especially with my actual martial arts background, I don't tell people about. You know what I mean? Like
I think it's the first I've heard about this.
Yeah, like
me too.
Like my first sport was martial arts. It wasn't basketball or anything like that.
What your jiu-jitsu?
Mine was more like a kickboxing style.
Okay, all right.
Well, the truth is, I don't talk about it because if I get in like a fight in the street, like that's the kind of stuff that like they would take.
Hey, tough guy.
If you go to law, you know what I mean? Like, like I think boxers like their hands get like licensed. It's like as actual weapons. So like I'm not about to be telling people I know how to fight. I'm just gonna mind my business, and then if they have to find out, I apologize.
You know what? I've been doing MMA video for 3-4 years now, and I've never seen anybody as big as you in the MMA ring. And I don't know if there is. I don't know if that does happen in there.
I mean, before I picked up professional wrestling, I was looking into boxing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I do have like an itch to like do some of that kind of stuff, but not to that level. Just more like the
So one day down the line, we're gonna get Pretty Boy Smooth and Bloodsport. Okay, I got you. Okay, all right. Look out, Tom Lawler or whatever.
He already faced
I've
Victor
wrestled
Benjamin.
Tom Lawler
Tom's amazing.
Tom is awesome.
You already faced Victor Benjamin.
Well, he was going to start training me actually. I was just keeping that low. But you never know.
He's training everybody. He trained Rev, and Rev won Rough and Rowdy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you never know. A lot of these dudes, people be thinking like wrestlers aren't really like quote unquote tough guys. You'll be surprised how many dudes can actually like really throw down. I want to find out.
Side note, there's just some conversation in the chat room I wanted to mention for the throwback here. Guys, I had the chance to see Second City Saints, Punk and Bandit Steel versus Prophecy, Daniels, Danny Maff, and BJ Whitmer back in the Dayton years ago. Not sure if those ones are on early shows or that's in the ROH catalog. That's another point because Jabrowski does a lot of this.
Ken Birch has said that.
What's that?
I bet that's Ken Birch.
No, that was Tina.
Oh, it's Tina. Okay,
Tina used to roll in the Dayton Cincinnati era back in the day and worked. She actually did, I believe, video for Heartland Wrestling. And that's one that Dabrowski's really good about unearthing a lot of this footage. He found all this like Von Erich footage that WWE didn't own. The Heartland Wrestling stuff with like a lot of when that was basically one of the territories that WWE whatever it was at the time was bringing people through. I think John Cena was on one of the things we put on a DVD. It's kind of like that, different era, but like again, those tapes are just like, hey, this guy has this over here and doesn't have the facility to turn this into something people can digest. But here's like all this stuff, and all these people came through for one reason or another, and this got lost, it's really interesting to see that kind of thing. But
Dombrowski's a good dude. I like him. He actually helped me a little bit behind the scenes with some stuff. When I was
good head on him.
Yeah, it was like he was doing commentary for Enjoy Wrestling one time when I worked for them, and I was trying to like explain to him like the Urban Playboy and whatnot, and he helped me find a way to make it more digestible for people to understand, as opposed to being like so layered, if that makes sense. So shout out to Dombrowski for that.
I don't take much. I don't take much opinion. I don't absorb much opinion from people that think Dombrowski doesn't know what he's talking about, because like he's one of the best heads in the business. Has been there, has seen everything. Has honestly given advice to people that have like freaking run with it and gone so far. You know what I mean? So if you're on a show and Dombrowski's on it, pick his brain. He's one of the vets. He's one of the good ones, and he's willing to. If you're willing to receive it, he's willing to give you the advice, which a lot of the good vets are too. So, and I think we're really fortunate because I know, again, you've been around the area here, Erie, Cleveland. We talked about with Exodus, a lot of great minds backstage. Hell, I'm learning a little bit of things about organizing behind the scenes because knowing those people came from, the big shows. We're currently doing one of the big shows here with NWA. We have so many vets that I've seen backstage at 2PW, backstage at RWA, backstage at VCW that just have been a bunch of places, and it drives me nuts when people aren't talking to him. You know what I mean? And he can tell, it's just like, man, this is a resource, and do the bare minimum, have a conversation, man, after your match, and just ask the vet how it went and listen.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many tangibles with that. Because on one hand, you have people that may just be shy and don't want to say anything. And then on the other hand, with this boom of social media, if someone has like crazy engagement or like they got over doing some like stupid shit, sometimes you can't like tell them like, hey, like let's work on this, let's work on that. Because their mind is already going off those endorphins, you know what I mean? So what's always helped me with my career is, at the end of the day, I'm very stoic about it. Like I never think I have the perfect match or that I know everything, because how else can I grow? Like the greatest thing for me at Exodus is I have EC3 there to get feedback from when it comes to in-ring stuff and whatnot. And then I have Aaron Stevens to help me on the promo side of things. So it's like, I remember messaging Aaron Stevens at 1 a.m. Like he didn't answer, but I just so happened to be recording, filming stuff, and he got back.
You're on that wrestler time frame.
It's like I really care about this. Like I love professional wrestling. I want to be the best I can be, and I'm competitive. So if people don't want to grow and learn, then that's on them. I'm just going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep getting myself in the right position. You feel me?
I think we're talking about
you don't hold on to that title without keep learning.
You said it, not me.
Yeah.
Bradley's going to make it in the next Exodus promo. Well, anyways, we're going to get rolling here because, he's got to get back to Erie sometime tonight too. So from
nice
Pittsburgh.
2-hour drive.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'll be doing that in 2 weeks. I think, are we on the same show in 2 weeks here up there? If I'm not mistaken.
In Erie?
Yeah.
Oh, so let's talk about that real quick.
Okay, quick shout out.
So that's probably going to be one of my biggest matches ever. You know, I'm really focused this Saturday on beating Dante Casanova. Yeah. Because if I do,
you don't want to look past that.
Nah, you got to focus on him. Because he's a dog, but I'm a wolf. You know what I mean? But if I win that, then on September 7th, I'll be in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is not my hometown, but now where I reside for Big League Pro. And I will be defending the NWA Midwest Championship against who I believe is the best wrestler in the world right now, unsigned, in Myron Reed.
Myron, I haven't seen in a while. Love it.
Yeah, that's a match I've wanted for years, but no one has ever thought to book because we live in this environment of, we don't want to do styles clashes. We want to put all the athletic, flippy guys together. You know what I mean? Like what I loved about wrestling was the styles clash. Like what happens when you put this guy against this guy? It doesn't even work the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Myron's a guy that will drag you into deep waters. He has an unbelievable gas tank. He's wrestled everywhere from the PWG to TNA, and he's a member of the Rascals, even though he wasn't in part of those WWE segments. And he's hungry. You know what I mean? Like I truly believe he's one of the best, and I've wanted that match for a long time. So I'm excited, and both my parents will be there. And I'm not about to get my ass beat in front of my dad because my dad's from the South. He don't play that.
I don't think I've seen your parents in the crowd yet. Is this are they more Wardlow mom, or are they more like softball parents?
All right.
When they come see you.
No, my dad's a psychopath. Like
Wardlow mom.
My dad would get technical fouls from my middle school basketball.
Okay.
From the bleachers. I'm not kidding. Sorry, Dad.
How does he react to wrestling?
Well, he's never seen me wrestle live before.
Oh, this is the first time. Oh.
Yeah. So like him and my grandma are the ones that got me into wrestling because he worked 5 jobs. So whenever he get home late at night, Monday Night Raw was on, we'd watch it for like an hour, this, that, and the third. So when I first started, I had a show in Queens that I actually drove Ethan Page and Hot Sauce Tracy Williams to, and my mom was at that one. I wrestled the Carnies, and that was I was like a year and a half. Yeah, it was a crazy night too. Like I drove from Cleveland, like from AIW all the way to New York. Yeah, it was, and they slept in the car. They were great.
Yeah, it's like 8 hours.
I was the real young boy. Like I just sucked it up. Yeah. But yeah, that was the only time my mom's seen me live. Now they've seen other videos and matches of mine, but they've never seen me really in my element. They've never seen me like in Erie, Pennsylvania, like in a crowd that's going to like love me. You know what I mean? So
that big league crowd is so great.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see how he takes it and reacts to everything. So
please point them out to me.
Oh, you'll know.
No, like you won't even have to.
You'll know it's my dad. We kind of look similar. He's more dark skinned. He's shorter than me. But
okay, all right.
You'll know.
All right. I am. I'm pretty sure I'm assigning myself the ringside camera again for that show, so I'll be out there looking. So I'm sure I'll hear it over my headset.
And my mom she just don't want me to get hurt. But I mean, it's sports. This isn't ballet. You know, it's very physical, and I wrestle very physical. So, you know, worry about him getting hurt, not me.
You seem to go, when you're in Erie, I feel like you go a little harder. You know, I don't know if it's that hometown vibe or something, but
it's a multitude of things. Like one, I started in Erie, like that crowd has seen me grow up. You know what I mean? From when I was
that's true.
23 to now 32.
From baby P.
You know what I mean? So you have that. And then also part of it is like I went through a phase in my career where I felt very disrespected, you know, by promoters and like other people in wrestling just because they never saw a Playboy as like a dominant big man. You know what I'm saying? They didn't understand the persona and who I am when in reality I'm just being myself. Like I'm a dude from New York that's fly, that's good looking, that attracts women, but will beat your ass. Like there's no need to like Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a game. Like,
What's to explain?
yes, like two things can be true, but when we're in this box, when we're always stereotyped and you have to be a certain thing, like that doesn't exist anymore. So like before I have my matches, I clock in and I lock in and I think like there's somebody out there that think this is a game. So I'm about to show you it's not. And that's just the type of energy I bring it in. I mean, as you can see, I'm winning, I'm getting championships, and you know, dudes is out here with their chest looking swole. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's going to be Big League Pro, and it's Kickoff Chaos is the show. That's going to be September 7th up there at the Erie Sports Center. Really awesome facility up there that they've been running lately. And they got a lot of room to grow, and they've filled it once. They've been filling it. We've
had over 800 people at once.
Yeah.
Go get those tickets.
And I think the low number was 400. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on up there. It is worth the drive from Pittsburgh. What's cool is it's like an equal drive roughly from Buffalo, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. So like, which also makes a nice mix of talent, you know, and then is accessible.
Spencer Slade's on there. That's another NWA superstar. The Indies are thriving right now.
It's great. It's awesome. It's awesome. Well, real quick, I want to give a shout out to in a chat room. Let us know what you learned from wrestling, and I'll be looking out for it here in a moment, and we'll get rolling here. But thanks to our friends Slice on Broadway, New York City style. Yins are made. Beachview Carnegie, the original one, right up the tracks, right up the street here from our location here at Sorgatron Media in the Beachview neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've been supporting us for over the decade, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Thank you so much to our friends, sliceonbroadway.com. Yes, it's the place that we had Beastman destroy their venue one time. So I need to dig that video up again now that he's
It was their fault. They tried to give him salad.
They did try to give him salad. I don't know what they were thinking.
They've got good salad. That's all nice.
It is
but
a
you
good
don't
salad.
give that
We
to
got a
Beastman.
salad for one of our patrons tonight. So, you know, it's some good stuff there. Was the salad good? We got a good salad. But thank you so much to our friend Slice on Broadway. What did we learn from wrestling this week? Tina learned that Rhea is for the children and brunch and wrestling for the next few weekends. Love the combo. She's referring to the Berlin and All In, London and Berlin, respectively. But yeah, it's 9 a.m. start for her. So
we're back to the 80s and when TBS had a wrestling show, studio wrestling show from 8 to 9 o'clock.
Studio wrestling. We're gonna have 3 to 4 hours of wrestling in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
At least we won't be tired, you know, at this point. So, Bradley, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
This weekend, I learned 2 different things. The first thing I learned is that I can do a referee George Ross impression. Because I was listening to it, and sometimes, I mean, you know, I don't have to try it. Yeah, I play with it. I've used.
Tell me more, Bubby.
As you've known, I can do enough that if I hear it enough, and I start going, "Hey, you gotta get out of the ropes! Come on, guys! Look out! Come on! 1, 2! Come on, guys!"
Wow.
And
does that seem right? Is that the voice that's ringing in your ears in the middle of the ring?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you. My brain goes into mush after like 10 p.m. So I'm here, but I'm here. I'm not here.
He was probably, you were probably more like all of a sudden Brad started yelling. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it might be a little bit more of that.
Well, we gotta get you.
But yeah, he's out
So
there.
good.
He's in the ropes. Come on, 1, 2. Okay, come on, guys, get back in the ring. 1, 2. And the second thing I learned is I was telling that to a couple folks. I went up to Gianni. And I was doing that for Gianni, and the second thing I learned is there's a couple of guys back there in the locker room that can do George Ross impressions. But it was at that point
it does go around. It does go around. Yes.
Yeah,
there's a lot of practice
at
happening.
At that point, George Ross happened to walk by me, and I said, "Hey, George, how you doing over there? How's it going?" And he said, "Hey, it's going real good, Brad. It's going real good."
I'm not gonna lie to you. It took me till just now to realize who you guys were talking about.
Yeah, black hair, George.
Yes,
George.
I had no clue who you were talking about for a second. This is why my brain goes to mush. But yes, that is very dead on. Yeah. Wow.
Pete, what'd you learn from wrestling recently?
A-Train throws an amazing bicycle kick.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of his stuff. I'm just like studying lately. Like I go through like random phases. Like I'll study Brock Lesnar for a month, and then like A-Train, and then Shane Taylor. So I'm always just trying to, learn different things. I did learn a few things watching Shane Taylor wrestle with Dante Casanova, and dude can't take a punch. He goes down.
It's a hell of a punch, though.
Hey, man,
It's a hell of a punch.
It is, but I got one of those.
Good. Hey, you
Call it the horse cross.
Yeah,
you got that kickboxing in you, right? So
I got a few different things. Always keep bullets in the chamber.
I learned. I watched an entire just roller coaster of emotions. I went to the NWA Pro show, like I mentioned, up in Salem, Ohio, and Patrick Hayes came out, and most people listening know what that means. But very long intro, the longest intro, a lot of jumping out of the ring. There was a guy. Was it the "I'm a Star" that he comes out to? Right. This guy was like the one big Patrick Hayes fan. I have video of it I put up. He's just jamming. He friended me on Facebook after I put the video up. So he's like completely down with Patrick Hayes, and it's said directly in front of me. Also, I'm in Ohio. He's the only one with a Steelers jersey on. So he's going on.
So he's used to adversity.
He's used to adversity. Yes, his wife is telling him to sit down. Her wife, girlfriend, the significant other is trying to tell him to get down. And halfway through the match, he just goes, because the guy he's going on, Eric Fallen, I think was the other guy's name. I think I posted the video where he comes out with a sparkler in his mouth. But anyways, halfway through the match, this guy just says, I can't even support him. He's being a bitch.
Oh gosh.
And then comes back around and loves the song. So I got to watch like a roller coaster of emotions in front of me. And I feel like I always sit by the right group of people at wrestling shows lately, that they're just going to crack me up the entire show. So that was fun. And again, shout out a great crew up there at NWA Pro. I just went as a fan, just checking out, see what their network partners are doing up there. And it's a lot of fun. They do a lot of really good show. And I think they have, who's on the next show? Tommy Dreamer is on their next show, actually. So stay tuned for that. So, and check out NWA Pro Wrestling on their Facebook social media for more information on that. I think that's coming up in late September, if I'm not mistaken. So, Dave, I don't know if this is what Dave learned, but it says it's a shame that we missed a team of Big E and Drew McIntyre. That would have been a Big Ed. I don't get it. Anyways, moving on. PrettyBoy Smooth, thank you so much for joining us, defending your, I'm not going to do the longest, too late, NWA
Midwest Championship.
I'm just sticking with that for now. I'll write out the full thing in the description, trust me. But you got this Saturday, 6:05 p.m., NWA's YouTube account. You can watch it live, free. I think, yeah, free. I haven't heard anything else, so.
As long as you got Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, as long as you got the Wi-Fi, you got the Starlink.
You have to pay for the internet, but otherwise it's free.
Yes, exactly. So
unless you watch it at McDonald's.
What?
Unless you watch it, if you watch
I
NWA Power at McDonald's,
send us pictures of your McDonald's Wi-Fi watch party for the show this Saturday.
There you go.
And don't forget NWA Power on the CW app on Tuesdays.
Absolutely, every Tuesday. And where can people go find more about PrettyBoy Smooth and that merch?
The way we've marketed me, Dutters has done an amazing job. If you just Google PrettyBoy Smooth, you will find me.
Here it all is.
Not hard to find. Follow me on social media. Just type in PrettyBoy Smooth. You'll see me with this beautiful belt. Please support, get some merch. Catch me at an upcoming event. Support NWA. And that's all I got.
Your picture comes up on DuckDuckGo when I search for you.
On what?
On DuckDuckGo.
I don't even know what that is, but shout out to them.
It's a search engine. There's Google and there's DuckDuckGo.
Oh, I only know about Google and Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves?
Yo,
what, is that still a thing?
Listen, shout out to my mom. This is why I'm very intelligent and know how to research things. When I was a kid, I would ask her questions, like dumbass kid shit. And she would literally tell me Ask Jeeves every time. and I had no idea what it was till I typed it in. So pretty much what she was doing was teaching me how to go find the information as opposed to just like asking like random people. You know how like people go on Twitter like, hey, how do I start my car engine, whatever. And it's like, just YouTube or Google it. You don't need to ask like 50 strangers. You know what I mean? Like,
is it kind of like that, let me Google that for you kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like you'll get the same answer.
You know what I love? When people message me something that they message me on Facebook something they could have Googled.
Yeah.
And I just send them the Google results.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not perfect. I'm sure I've done this before. But at this point in my life, no. Like, I'm just going to do the research. It's okay.
I've had times in my life I could be a half-assed computer administrator just by using Google.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
there's a lot of information there.
With a lot of stuff, man. If you really are on a thing and you want to look like the expert, it helps.
The internet is for more than just social media.
Mm-hmm.
People forget that all the time.
That's where we spend most of our time on. So, thank you so much. Hey, it's always good seeing you. Always good seeing you at the shows. And like I said, and seriously, it's good seeing you kind of grow with things and everything. It's been really awesome to kind of follow your journey here over the years. So, one of the good ones, PrettyBoy Smooth, and check him out this Saturday. And Bradley will be
at a wrestling show.
Will be at a wrestling show near you. Probably.
I will be going to 880 this Friday.
There you go. What's your tour? I will be in the crowd at 880.
That's for Bradley's Crowd Tour, going forever.
Retribution of the Steel City Killers. I'll be also live on the IndyWrestling.us.
I just got to see. I have a picture with myself with the Steel City Stompers.
The what?
The Steel City Stompers. They Dash Bennett and Don Murphy came out with, of all people, Ronnie Starks at Stomp Out Cancer, or as Hank Hudson kept calling it, Stomp Out Cancer.
Well, Hank in that accent.
Hank, yeah. But they came, and then the Steel City Stompers came out, and they beat Dash and Don.
Mm-hmm.
And I was honored to get a picture with. It's just two sentient shoes, just two guys in shoe outfits.
I saw those pictures. I didn't know what was happening. Okay.
It was two.
They were the Stompers. I get it.
Those were the Steel City Stompers, lefty and righty.
I forgot the days where we took things so literally in wrestling. It was an honor to meet them. Mm-hmm.
The 880 and VCW.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that Saturday Night Special? Two guys who I hate.
Mm-hmm.
Against,
it's so weird. I don't like those guys, but I love Applebee's. Yeah.
Against the Wayward Sons for the titles, and I believe that is Fans Bring the Weapons.
I thought that was TLC. Am I mistaken?
Oh, you're right. That is
Fans Bring the Weapons.
TLC.
Is
a six-man that's
with the Troublemakers and Felix, the Mime.
Yeah, I can bring something to hit Glenn Spector with.
There you go.
I would be very happy to bring something to have somebody hit Glenn Spector specific. They can hit Tyler Brooks and they can hit Kane and Christopher. That's all good. Maybe give Lexus a good swamp on the head would be fine. But Glenn specifically, I would like to bring someone.
Are you going to put Glenn's name on the weapon?
I will now.
Just like there's only for Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
How do you signify receiving and not that he uses it?
That's their.
You got 2 weeks to figure it out. You got 2 weeks to figure it out.
I can't.
There you go.
I can't put a password on a weapon and give it to Zeke Mercer.
From Bradley to Glenn's head.
Yeah, something like that.
There you go. Perfect.
Very good.
We've all learned something here. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you everybody who's joining us live in the chat room or afterwards on the podcast or one of the video streams all over the place. Please give a like, follow, and everything to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. And if you like what's going on here, want to support the show, become part of it. Sometimes you could maybe even be Bradley. Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show for all the perks. Thank you guys, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.